Hello, my name is Liza, and today I'd like to share with you a few Valentine's projects I made. Just a word that I found nothing new in my Dollar Tree, so I'm using stuff that I had on hand for the last couple of years. So the first project that we're going to share is this little house. It can be used all year. It's not necessarily Valentine's. I had one of these wooden house box frame things. And this little freestanding home sign. I used cardstock from my stash. It's a 6x6 paper pack. You'll need either a dowel or I've been saving up the paintbrush handles once I throw the sponge part away. And some beads for the little peg doll heads. I got mine from Amazon. I'm also using one of these heart ornaments that they carried past years. My color scheme for my projects is going to be red, pink, white, and gray. And before we get started, Quarantino's doing a little bit of a quality control check to make sure that we have everything that we need. First thing I did was I painted the inside walls and roof of the house with the white chalk paint. Then I painted the outside with the gray paint, but I wanted it to be a light gray, so I mixed some white with the gray to make that color. And then I also used the regular gray to paint the home sign, which I didn't take a picture of, but you'll see it later. Then I selected a piece of the chevron striped gray paper to place inside my box. I traced my house, the perimeter of my house, onto the paper, and then with the scoring tool, I just scored the edges 1/4 inch inside all the way around, and then I cut the what I scored, and just with a little bit more fine tuning in the trimming, it fit inside the box perfectly. I don't think all the boxes are always the same size. And then I just glued it into the back, and then I decided I wanted to add some of the darker gray, so the roof and the outside edge are all the darker gray. Next, it was time to make my little peg people. So I took my used paintbrush handles and my wooden beads, and I used a small bead for the child, and then I used the skinnier handle for the child, but I cut them in 3 different lengths, and I painted them gray, red, and pink. While I had the pink paint at, I also painted the heart pink. Using my Cricut, I cut a vinyl monogram and last name, and I added it to the heart. And because I forgot to patch the hole up in the heart, I just added a little ribbon, a bow. Then I added the heads to the pegs, and then I, with wood glue, and I attached all 3 people together. And when the glue dried, I glued them into the house along with my heart. And then with wood glue, I also attached the house to the home sign, so it was one piece, and it's pretty strong. Next, we're going to make the faux book stack, because again, I could not find it in Dollar Tree, so I'm using one of these wooden crates that do have the handles on the side. So my initial idea was just to ignore the holes and draw some lines, and I was going to paint it all the way around. So I started with the chalk white in the center stripe on all 4 sides. Then I added the gray to the bottom, and then I used the pink for the top, very top, and the of course all 4 sides. But then I thought, I'm going to try something. So I took a piece of white cardstock that was the same size of the side. I glued it onto the box, and I painted the sides. And with my Cricut, I used vinyl, some ribbon from Hobby Lobby, and that cute little whisk was an ornament from Target last year. Next, we're going to make this gnome because I have made them in the past, but they had short little hats. And since I saw the cute ones online with the tall hat, I thought I'd make one with a tall hat. So this is one of those Christmas gnomes from a couple years ago. I did remove the hat because I didn't want it to be peeking out from underneath. And then with some felt, I made a cone and I cut it down and I just, with some hot glue, attached it to my gnome. In the past, my gnomes were holding flowers or a heart, but this time I wanted a love letter, so I took two Jenga blocks and with some wood glue just glued them together, painted the edges with the red chalk paint, and then with some cardstock cut out two rectangles, and on one side I just trimmed it to make it look like an envelope, added a little gem heart sticker from Dollar Tree, and then I glued them to the front and the back of the Jenga blocks, and I was able to attach it to the hands of my new gnome. And because they don't stand very well, I just take a Jenga block, glue it to the bottom of the gnome, and then a heart to that, and then it stands much better. And here you can see he is complete. I did add a little red heart sticker, but it's not going to stay on. I don't think it's good. It's probably going to fall off. Next, we're going to make the little cutting board. So Dollar Tree at one time did have these unfinished cutting board shapes and this ribbon, and I basically just used the gray paint, painted all of it, and with my Cricut put some vinyl on there and tied a Dollar Tree ribbon bow. Next, we're going to make the little rolling pin. The rolling pins are found at Hobby Lobby. They're only $3.99, but then you can get 40% off, so they're actually cheaper than Dollar Tree. I painted it with the pink. I used my Cricut and some red vinyl to cut some hearts. I also painted the handles, the gray, and then I just wrapped my transfer tape all the way around, and now my rolling pin was done. But since I had that negative portion, I thought, oh, maybe I'll make a second rolling pin. This was a fail. So I painted a second rolling pin with white chalk paint and the red handles. Then I saw people using Mod Podge so that the paint wouldn't bleed. I added my negative portion of the vinyl, wrapped it around. I dabbed my red paint into the hearts, pulled my vinyl off, and had a disaster. But never fear, I had a plan B. I just painted repainted the rolling pin red, added white handles, cut out some more hearts, and the word love, and I have a cute second rolling pin for my kitchen tier tray. That's the end of my projects. Hope you enjoyed them. Quarantino and I will be back again soon with another project. Thanks for watching. Take care.